Tonight on Tabletop Commander, Roon of the Hidden Realm. Hi everyone, and welcome to another fantastic deck tech. Tonight we have for you Roon of the Hidden Realm. It is a flicker type deck, and just to I say sorry in advance, sometimes I say blank, sometimes I say flicker. It's pretty much an interchangeable thing. It's all about exiling creatures out and getting them right back in and taking advantage of the enter the battlefield effects. Before I get started, I'd like to remind everyone, if you like this video, let me know by hitting that like button. And maybe check out some of my other videos. Hit subscribe, ring the little bell to get notifications when I have new videos up. My video making is a little erratic. I mean, this isn't like a professional operation or anything. It's just me in my basement with my cards. Sometimes I put up a video once a week, sometimes once a month, but they do get out there, and I have lots of great videos for you to check out, so go check them out. Alright, getting started. This is Roon of the Hidden Realm once again. It is a Bant colored commander. This is a somewhat of a budget deck. I don't really know how much it actually costs because I had like 90% of the cards when I started. I only put about $6 into this deck, so realistically though, it's probably 120, 150 maybe, somewhere in that realm. So let's get right into it. Roon of the Hidden Realm is a flicker type commander. He exiles creatures and gets you to get them back into play to take advantage of those and enter the battlefield effects. He's very inexpensive money-wise. He's a dollar rare, so really easy to come by. Getting right into the deck itself, of course I play a Soul Ring. And I play some Signets. I played two, the Azurius and the Simic. There's another Signet. I just didn't have it at the time, so I skipped it. Chromatic Lantern. More Mana Rocks. Sensei's Divining Top, because this is EDH, and we always play a top in EDH. Some Greaves for protecting Roon himself. Panharmonicon, because we want to double up those enter the battlefield effects. Conjurer's Closet, it's another exile a creature and get him back type of a deal. Cultivate and Kodama's Reach for lands. Can't see this too good. This is a proxy regrowth for getting stuff back out of the graveyard. We are playing green, so I always play a Garruk Wildspeaker in my green decks. That ability to untap 2 target lands is unbeatable. If you really want to spend a little extra money on this deck, getting a Teferi would not be a bad idea either. Being able to untap 4 permanents is definitely a good thing. Next we have Sylvan Library, again because we're playing green, pretty much a gimme. Mystic Remora for some good card draws. Burgeoning for some more lands. Awakening, this makes it so during each player's upkeep, all creatures and lands get untapped. This is so you can take advantage of Roon on everybody else's turn. Not just yours, or not just one of theirs, but all of them. Banishing Light for some removal. Nevermore, you want to play this and name a commander. Keep that player's commander off the table. Good for keeping down the more aggressive commanders like Animar and so forth. Enlightened Tutor and Worldly Tutor and Mystical Tutor for tutors. Next up we have Swords to Plowshares for some removal. And we have a bunch of counterspells. We have Counterspell itself, Swan Song, Forbid, Disallow, Mindbreak Trap. Again, these are pretty much counterspells that I had laying around. Most of this deck is stuff I had laying around, so it's not necessarily going to be perfect, and there are certainly better counterspell options out there. This is just what I happen to have. Eerie Interlude for some more flicker effects. Fact or Fiction, basically for draw, as well as Brainstorm. Capsize wouldn't really be a good blue deck without a Capsize in there, especially when you play the Awakening. I also have a Seedborn Muse in here. Lets you get your bounce on big time. Birds of Paradise for some mana. Wood Elves, mana, and you can also blink him in and out a bunch of times and get tons more forests. Revelark, same thing, gets little creatures back from the grave. This is good for getting back that Seedborn Muse if they died, and so on and so forth. Mystic Snake, counter. Eternal Witness, this is definitely an all-star for flickering in and out, getting stuff back from your graveyard. That is definitely a must in this deck. Wall of Blossoms and Wall of Omens for some draw, as well as Coiling Oracle, same basic principle. Prime Speaker Zagana for drawing, and some beats, why not too, right? Cloud Blazer for some draws, and more draws of Muldrifter. And Recruiter of the Guard lets you fetch up some creatures. Trinket Mage for fetching up that Soul Ring. And a Mana Crypt if you actually put one in here. Seedborn Muse, as I said before, gotta have a Seedborn Muse. This is probably the most expensive card in the deck. This is like a $17, $18 card. Brago, King Eternal, another blinker guy. Drowsy Displacer, same thing. Deadeye Navigator, infinite combo in this deck with this guy with the Peregrine Drake, I believe it's called. Infinite mana. There's not too much to do with infinite mana in here, but if you play this and you want to throw in like a Blue Sun Zenith or a Stroke of Genius, you can definitely finish someone off that way. Flicker Wisp, more blinking. Mist Meadow Witch, more blinking. Avenger of Zendikar, this is definitely a flicker target. You want to get tons and tons of 0/1 plant guys. Thrag Tusk, gets dudes, gets life. Lavinia of the 10th, I was actually considering not putting this card in here, and then I played it, and holy Christ, this thing is definitely an all-star, and you definitely keep this in here. It detains all permanents your opponents control with a converted mana cost 4 or less. Basically, it shuts down mana rocks, it shuts down tokens, it shuts down Animar, it shuts down Atraxa, it shuts down so much stuff. I'm actually thinking of making a deck with Lavinia as the general. Sort of a stacks or attacks type of a deck. Get them to have to pay, but pin down all their mana rocks with her and keep the flicker effects going to keep her out, and use like Armageddon and stuff to keep lands off the field. And then you play mana rocks, you can play your mana rocks, they can't play theirs, so you have access to being able to play, and they do not. So there you have it. Look for that deck in the next month or two, for sure. Angel of Serenity, another all-star in this deck. Exiles 3 creatures from the battlefield or from graveyards. But then when she leaves play, they go back to her hand, not back into play. So you can flicker her in and out a whole lot, and basically return everything to your opponent's hands very easily. Peregrine Drake, as I mentioned earlier, for untapping lands. Reflector Mage for being annoying. Sunblast Angel for keeping down your opponents. Mana War for some bouncage. Cataclysmic Gearhulk. This is great for keeping down Super Friends decks as well as token decks. Duplicate removal. Brutalizer Exarch. This is good non-creature removal. It's also a good tutor. You can tutor for creatures with this. War Priest of Thune. Good removal for enchantments. Terastodon. This guy won me some games. You just keep flickering them in and out and keep destroying tokens, and then you have Lavinia out so they can't even hit you with the 3/3 elephants. Definitely an all-star in this deck. I've won games with him, and if you have Panharmonicon on the table, forget it. They're done. Get rid of all their lands. Get rid of all their artifacts. Everything. They're done. Acidic Slime, another all-star in this deck. Good for keeping artifacts, enchantments, and lands. Keeping them down. And Reclamation Sage, good for artifact and enchant removal. And that is my entire deck. So, let me know what you think. As I said, this is stuff I had laying around. There's a lot you could put in here that would make this better. A lot of alternative stuff that you can use that's not necessarily better, but it's just an alternative idea. I certainly want to put a Venser, the Sojourner, in here, because that is definitely a great flicker card, as well as making stuff unblockable is pretty sweet too. So there's lots of other good stuff, lots of other flickerables, a lot of stuff that'll make stuff flicker, like I said, Venser or Felidar Sovereign, or probably 100 other cards. But this is what I put in mine, and it does work. It's more for a casual format, as you can tell, a casual group, I should say. But let me know what you think in the comments. And a reminder again, like, subscribe, share with your friends, all that good stuff, and have a great day.